So what's the best promotional strategy? New Zealand's not an element, budget's not an element. The best thing, the best band you've ever... I'm just really interested because I know that a lot of bands are the most incredible thing you can hear on stage, but the live act, you were talking about getting noticed before, and I think that's something that the Mint Chicks did extremely well. They got a lot of attention in New Zealand just because everyone wanted to come to the live act and go, wow, what's going to happen? You know, because is fire extinguishers going to go off? Is the lead singer going to swing from the ceilings? What's going to happen, you know? Is that promotion? Is it your live act? What is that?
Depends on the band. I mean, you don't want to be that crazy person that swings off things and breaks things if that's not your style or if that's not you. I think it's got to be genuine, and I think that's what the Mint Chicks did really well, is that was just them. They weren't trying to.
We had other bands that sort of came out after us and were doing that sort of thing, but you know, I remember we played a show with and the guy had a broken leg, and we were like, shit, what happened, man? And he was like, oh yeah, I tried to jump from a lighting rig and it broke my leg. And it's like, oh yeah, good one, dude. Yeah, you know, yeah, our singer never broke his leg. He had one injury on stage with us from his brother karate kicking him in the back.
Stretch before your show. Hey, we've got another question here. Let's move on. Merchandise. How lucrative or beneficial is it for your band to sell merchandise? I know at your shows, at Savvy Promotions, there's always merch. There's always a table of t-shirts and stickers.
Yeah, that's a really good thing to have. Variety, maybe be a bit more creative. Maybe what Michael mentioned about the poster design. You could, you know, make your own t-shirts. I mean, I've seen all sorts, and it's the best merch that I saw was Golden Axe, and they had their cassette tapes. And I just thought, you know, like cassette tapes, because I grew up listening to cassettes. It was just such a cool, and they just completely sold out because everyone just kind of wanted the things, and they were hand drawn and written, and I just thought it was really cool. And people like cool things. People also like cheaper things. So if you have an option of like, I mean, say not everyone that comes to your show is going to have disposable income. So perhaps they just want to buy something, but they can't afford $15 or $20 or whatever it is for a CD. So they might want a badge or a sticker or whatever. Just kind of be creative, have a bit of variety, and kind of definitely have something available at each show.
Yeah, merch can be like quite lucrative. I think it's just coming up with something that's a little bit out of the ordinary. For example, with one of the bands I was managing, they had quite a strong teen female fan base. So one of the things that we did when we went on tour was we took a Polaroid camera with us, and so we'd like sell a Polaroid picture with the band so they could take a photo with the band member and then get it signed right there on the spot. And then we think we sold them for $5. The film like ended up being so that each picture was $1. So that's a $4 markup, and when I think most t-shirts, when you get them printed, they're like about $12 cost price, and then you sell them for about $20, so you only earn about $8 off that anyway.
Sure.
So like it's quite a good markup when you just think of slightly out of the box things that you can do, and like we also did like necklaces and stuff, for example.
T-shirts and stuff are quite expensive, like especially if you make up a whole box before. Is it a good idea to do that, or is it like a good idea to go to like King Cobra or one of these merch sites that you can actually put your design on and then give out the website and say, look, you can pre-order, and they just make it up based on the number of orders they get?
With t-shirts, the most expensive part is the first run, because you've got to get the screen printed. Sure. And normally a screen, like to get a screen set up, it's about $100.
Right.
So you've got to like sell enough t-shirts to make off that cost price. But after that it's pretty good, because you can get quite a few t-shirt printers in Auckland that will print on good quality t-shirts like American Apparel or Gildan, so it's the same as international quality. And I think like guys' t-shirts are normally cheaper, they're about $10, and girls are about $12, just because with girls they're like fitted, so they end up being a couple more dollars, and yeah, so.
That's great.
I kind of reckon though that people do like something that's a bit more unique and collectible. Like, obviously this is at a different sort of scale, but the promoter that I work for did Faith No More earlier this year, and I worked a little bit on that show, and Faith No More, obviously you don't think that they need to do something every show, but apparently what they do every show is make up their own poster for every show, and they're like fluoro coloured, amazing pieces of art. They're, they print 50 at each show, and it's all autographed, and you buy them, I think they're like $50 or something, and they sell out at every event because it's like special to that show. It says Auckland Vector Arena on it or whatever, with all the support bands, and you know, I just thought that's the first kind of international band that I saw that seemed to that kind of level, and people like feeling kind of special. And then the local level, Main Street, or the Street Chant, who they're called now, they played at a show of mine, and the t-shirts that sold the most at our gig was their t-shirts, which was hand painted or spray painted or something, and each design was different. They just did whatever to them. And I think that it actually washed straight off when you like put it in the wash. But like the people didn't care. They were like, "Well, I'm going to buy that because it's the only one of those," and they just made them up the night before or whatever. And
you've got some. I know that you're an artist as well, Mike, and you use the old Trichem, is it, or the clothing Sharpies?
No, don't make them like that because it takes too long. No, make a stencil. Now, I don't know, I saw a band called The Liars, and they had some cool merch. They went to op shops in whatever town they were in and picked some clothes that they thought were cool, and then just they had a stencil and they just spray painted their thing on there, and then it was cool. There was a big box of them and they were real cheap, and it was like, ah.
Should you have a budget before you start all this merch, Sharp? Should you say we're going to spend $100 or $200? Or?
Well, I think that when you're starting off, you should definitely go for sort of like more normal items that you know definitely are going to sell, so that you can start raising a pool of money, so that you can go and do like, you know, stuff like op shopping and stuff that maybe like you don't definitely know it's going to sell. I mean, you can also do stuff like tote bags, for example. Like I've got one like from the skin, something like one machine tote bag. You can get them as book bags from Spotlight, I think, and they're only like about $2 or $3, and you can also get stuff like that screen printed. So it's just like sort of thinking about, you know, like what you'd want if you liked a band and that you would buy.